Welcome back to the COG Weekly podcast, Season 4, Episode 8. We are back.
We are back with Episode 8. We are so excited to be here for Episode 8. Like we said last week, we had something special planned for this episode, and here we are. Today we have with us our first ever gaffer, our first ever manager, our first ever boss man, Luis Figueiredo, who currently holds the reins of Finnish professional football club Kajanen Haka. They are a club who we know very well here at COG Weekly after interviewing Jose Ferreira. If you didn't see that, check it out. It's in Season 4, Episode 4. And on top of his experience in the professional game, Luis has countless years working in top European academies, developing talent and shaping the next generation of football. We are so excited to have you on, Luis. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to the world and share your story and just speak with us in general. So how are you doing?
First, I want to say thank you to Leo and Mike for your invitation. It's a pleasure for me to be here, sharing a little of my short experience. Is 18 years old that I'm a head coach and all working in football. So it's a little short. I'm a young guy, but it's a pleasure to be here and sharing this. And I hope that you can take something for your life, sports life, or for your life.
Yeah, so I mean, we're so excited. We hope that me and Mac can both take something from this to help us in our lives, and then also everyone listening, regardless of who you are, what stage of life you're in, what walk of life you're going through. We hope that you can also take something important and special from this interview, and we're just excited to dive into it. So to start us out, we want to start with your very early career, when you're super, super young. This is before any professional experience, before any high-level or elite experience. What made you get into the game? Oftentimes, people mention maybe a mentor or a parent or a certain time period like a World Cup that got them super involved or that really locked their interest in on the game. But we'd love to hear what that was for you.
Okay, let's start for beginning. For me, since I know me, I love football. I try to be a football player, but soon I understand that is not possible. So when I had 18 years old and I go university, I need to start thinking what I want to be professional level. And in this time, 2003, we have one big coach that for me was a big image what I want to be, Jose Mourinho. 2003, 2004, when Jose Mourinho wins European League, UEFA Cup and Champions League with Porto. He started in Benfica. That was a club that I support when I'm young. So I start following his career since 2000 when he started with Benfica. And in 2004, when I go to university, I start thinking what I want to do professional. And so I start imagine a lot of professions that I want to do. Teacher, physical teacher, biology teacher, geography teacher, nurse, and every professions that I imagine, I don't feel like I'm happy 10 years late. So the only that profession that I really understand that I'm really good is head coach, football head coach. So, okay, I'm 18 years old and I start thinking how I can be head coach, football head coach. So I have two options. So I can take the normal course, like head coach, UEFA C, UEFA B, UEFA A, UEFA Pro, or I can go university, take sports course, understand more about every things that are around the game, for to be better prepared for this mission. For me, this is a mission that I want to do. I really want to do. So I start looking for universities in Portugal where I can go and can give me this what I'm looking for. So I found University UTAD in Villarreal, north of Portugal, that can give me what I want. So I can be head coach. I finish my course with UEFA C, and I can be sports teacher. So okay, I can do two things in the same time. So I'm teacher and I can be head coach. And I go for university 2004 and I start uh, looking for this road. The first thing that I do when I arrived to university was, okay, I need to start training, so I need to find a club to start training. I don't know. I was a player. I play in that my town club, uh, but when I'm a player, I don't like training like a player. What is my passion was understand what the coach do, what they do, why they do that, uh, why he choose this player, why he choose this, why he speak this, and this is real. I like not training, not me being the in the doing the process, but thinking the process. And so when I arrived university, I found a club and I start training under 8 years old boys, so the little ones. And I start training to January 2005. And when I start training, was very, very difficult because training with the young kids is not easy. I don't know, for example, how is in that United States, but for example, in Portugal, in this time, we divided the players with the skills. So the first team or the under 8 team, the better players go for the first team. Then we have a B team, and then we have a C team, and we put the players like skills. So my team was that C is the players that have less skills. And when we go games, we lost 15-0, 20-0. So it
Wow.
was very, very difficult. Don't lost the players because it's not easy when we finish the game and we're looking for that the face and the kids start crying because they lost. Uh, they think that is a shame for them. They go to school and the next week, and the team, the friends will shouting with them and joke with them. So it's not easy work with this age. And for me, when I start training, my goal is not to be champion, but the the players cannot give up. And for me, my medal, gold medal, was I finished the season and don't lost players. So in this first 6 months, I don't lost one player when I losing 20-0, 25-0, 50-0. I don't win one game, but my goal was, okay, I need to do the trainings. They need to be happy. I need to finish the season and have the same players that when I start. So, and I'm happy because was one point that I get nobody give up, and my first year training was like this, very, very difficult. Um, and then I go for the next stage, the second year in my career. I training under 10. I have the same team, uh, so I have a new some players, new players, and my goal was the same. So not to be champion, not not every players need to play, uh, and give them passion about football. And for me, it's I'm very, very happy because 17 years after, I can see that some players that when I start, they are now football head coach. So
Oh
they
wow.
have the same passion, and they training now. They don't, they are not players, but they are in football like head coach or assistant coach. And this is my medal, my gold medal. Is I'm looking back and be happy because I help in this process.
That's so cool. I love how you talked about the most important thing being instilling the passion and desire to play football into these kids, retaining these kids onto this team for the next season, regardless of how the outcome is. And I can almost relate that to a manager that you said you look up to almost entirely in Jose Mourinho, who is all about passion, all about desire, all about giving it all. You said that the most important thing for you is that these kids don't give up. And I think that your idol or the person you looked up to as a manager the most, Jose Mourinho, would have a very similar thing to say. Now, I had one question for you because a lot of people in my shoes who are either a player or a spectator see Jose Mourinho in one way, but I'm wondering, you as a manager who sees the in and outs of professional football on the daily, how do you view Jose Mourinho as a manager? How do you think of him and his style and his tactics, and overall his brilliance in the game?
First of all, I think that Jose Mourinho, um, in my opinion, uh, of course, okay, I will speak a little with my Portuguese mind.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
because in Portugal we have a training um, before Jose Mourinho and after Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho is the first coach or famous coach that is not football player. So he come
Mm.
from university, and in Portugal was very, very important. We saw someone that is not player because until here, almost every head coach was ex-professional football players. And the people that come from university always will be assistant coach, a physical coach, so analysts. So not the big man, not that the principal that think everything. And after Jose Mourinho, we looked at, okay, it's possible someone coming from university is not ex-player and could be a good head coach. So I think that for this, Jose Mourinho, his the most important thing is mental. He worked very, very good the mental side to the players for they don't give up and they can do everything and sometimes impossible things. We can see, for example, when he win with Football Club Porto, UEFA Cup and Champions League. So is a team that nobody give nothing for them, and he shows the players don't win nothing before. So he chose the players that they want to learn, they want to win, they want to grow up, they want to do better, they want to be better. And when he go winter, Milan, for example, nobody give nothing for him, and he win again. He was champion, he win Champions League. So he get players that nobody, players that start being don't winning nothing, and it transformed these players in champions. And so the mental side is very, very important when we looking for football or we speak for football. Of course, every sports are important. We speak about the mental side, but in football is a collective game that we have 11 players inside the field, more 7 in bench, and 6 or 10 players outside bench. So before that we speak in tacticals or physicals, the mental side is very, very important because we need to management 25 persons. Then we need to management the president because everybody want to win, but it's impossible. Only one will be champion. But we need work this side. We need speak for the presidents, try to, they give that tools that the coach needs to do a good job. Because many times what happen is the clubs don't choose the coach for what they want. Many times they choose because some agent or they think that he's a good coach, but they don't look for that philosophy. They don't look for he play. So this is why many times we have good coach that they go for some clubs and they don't have success because the philosophy is not the same. The club philosophy and coach philosophy is not the same. And when you are not in the same page, it's very difficult you win. And Jose Mourinho do this very good. He transformed this, the clubs that he chose. Every clubs, they don't win so many years. And he arrived there and win. And he do this now with Roma too.
Yeah.
The sports Roma fans, they start to believe that it's possible Roma be champion again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you then, like you said, with both your youth coaching and then also with Jose Mourinho, talking about the mental side of the game and making sure their passion is still there and they still don't give up even if results aren't going their way, would you say that's really your biggest focus in your own philosophy of football? And how would you describe your own play style or tactics or focus as a manager yourself, both for the club you're coaching now, but also just more recently? How would you describe how you like to play?
For me, I think that the most important thing is pass to my players for they understand the game. This is the first step. They need to understand the game. For them, we can speak about the style. Because I try to pass for my players for they understand many styles of the game. Okay, because it's very important. For example, we know that we have 25 persons that they think different ways. Everybody understands football. Everybody have a different experience, but we need to put 25 persons think the same way. And this is in the same and speak the same language. This is the most difficult. We need to put 25 persons think like the head coach, because he's the head coach is like a GPS. He will say the coordinates that everybody need to go. But everybody need to understand the same language. Because, for example, we are here, we are 3, but everybody understand football. Leo understand football, Mac understand football. But my language is different than Leo and Mac. So the first step is I pass for my football players my language, how I speak football, what is my language. When I speak something, 25 players need to understand what I want. And many times what I'm looking for when I saw is the coach suppose that Leo and Mac understand football. Okay, you understand football, but you don't understand my football, my language.
Yeah.
And for we have success, both need to understand the same language. So I need to pass this for my players. They need to speak my language. What I want, for example, if I say for my team defending in low block, what I understand low block, because for me low block could be one thing, for Leo could be another thing, and for Mac could be another thing. But if I suppose that Leo know what means low block, I of course he knows what means, but it's Leo way, not my way.
Mm-hmm.
So the most important is Leo and Mac need to understand how is my low block. Because when I arrive the game, for example, if we start the game doing high pressure, and when I say for the team go low block, everybody need to understand what this means. Okay, because if I don't say nothing, okay, Leo will do what understand for low block, Mike will do what understand for low block, and many guys will do what they understand for low block, and the mistakes will occur. So the principal point is I need to pass what means my language, my football. And then I start, I think that is very, very important. For example, we do a pre-season, because pre-season for me is when I teach my football since beginning. I have some individual principles that I start to pass with the exercise that I'm thinking. Always in my trainings, for example, every exercise you need to think. I don't give you an answer. I give you options that you need to take, and depends the moment, depends that opponent, but I say you what you need to do. So, okay, you have the ball, but you can pass for the right, you can pass for the left, you can pass for death, you can pass for right. So you decided what is better in that moment, what is free. But I give you these options. You need to learn, and this need, I call this understand the game. If you understand the game, if you look for the game and not only for the ball, but you need to look for the ball, for the opponent, and for your teammates. And with these three things, you choose what is the best in that moment. So we need to start this in pre-season. In pre-season, we start from beginning. We start for simple things and more complex, more complex, more complex, more complex. And I try to teach my team, my players, what means low block, medium block. For example, in offensive organization, defensive organization, medium block, high pressure, offensive transition, depth, height, defensive transition, contention, organization. So many things, because in the football, the other team will do one thing. For example, if I play, or if the other team play high pressure, okay, I need to do some type of defensive organization. So because everything is connected, so I try to stop how the other team play, and I have my strategy. So I try to pass all strategy for my players in the preseason, because during the season, what we will do is we analyzing the opponent, we know how they play, and my players know how they can play. And in the same game, we can play different ways and different things, but the players need to understand what the other team do.
That's awesome. I think it's so cool how you think that, and how it's true that one person, one manager's low block, one manager's middle block, one manager's high press can all be completely different. I think that gets overlooked a lot because sometimes players might go to preseason and be like, oh, I know how to play this style, and this style. But then you get out there and one player might be thinking that they're supposed to drop back way more, and one player might be thinking that they're supposed to step up. And it all depends on your formation, how your players move, like you're saying, and just what the manager wants. I love how you said that you are the GPS of the team and everyone needs to be able to read your coordinates. I think that's a phenomenal metaphor for exactly what the manager does and all the work that they put in. I just wanted to touch one more time on your youth and sort of connect this in that this is how you sort of organize your team now. This is how you organize your professional team. But we did see that you had been a part of some youth clubs like Lazio and other Portuguese clubs in their academies and developing their players. So especially once you got to that higher level of youth academies, was this the same approach that you took in those preseasons during those seasons? Or do you think you shifted your approach when you went from coaching younger players and developing players to full-fledged professional players?
Okay, so and now I will start a little about my other teams. I'm university, and after that I train in 2 years. I have opportunity to do Erasmus in another country. And when I get this opportunity, okay, I'm thinking, okay, good. I have opportunity to learn more in that another country different from Portugal. Okay, because Portugal, we learn something, but it's good you have another perspective for other thing. It's not you cannot you could not agree, but if you look, if you saw, you have two things. So okay, I have this and I have this. What is better? Oh, maybe this is not so better, or maybe this is not so better, but you know. So I choose Italy. I have this opportunity and I go Rome. I'm studying 1 year in Rome University. And when I go Rome, I have opportunity I'm looking for, and I found, and I do a stage in Lazio, young teams. I'm assistant coach under 15. And I learn a lot because it's very, very difficult way how they work. They work a lot of coordination. They work a lot of physical, defensive organization. They try to do very, very strategy. Okay, so I take this for my game style. And when I come back to Portugal, I go for the same club, and I have some difficulties because okay, I finished my university, my degree, 5 years after that, and I'm not a professional football player. So what I do now, how I arrive professional level, this is a key. And when I'm in Lazio, I know someone, Giuseppe Di Fidio, that he was a goalkeeper coach in young teams, Lazio, and he had a goalkeeper school in Italy, famous goalkeeper school. If a former, for example, Mattia Perin, that play in Juventus. And when I finish my degree, I'm thinking, okay, what I do now? And I have a light. Okay, I will speak with Giuseppe Di Fidio if I remember me. And okay, could be if he gets something for me. So I write an email for him, and he remember me. And he tell me, okay, Luis, you want to open a goalkeeper school in Portugal? And I'm thinking, okay, could be an option, because in Portugal we don't have so much things about goalkeeper, so is a way that I can go to arrive professional level. And okay, I open a school in Portugal, and during 3 years I go Italy, I take formation, I do formation for goalkeepers. We do a stage in Italy, we do a stage in Portugal, and I go for this way. What I think, like when I go to university, I think, okay, I need to learn a lot of things, different areas, and how many I can. So, okay, I work with under 8, under 10, under 15, under 12 in my university years. Goalkeeper, okay, it's something that I can take for me. If I understand a little about goalkeeper things, I'm a better coach. I could understand when I'm head coach, I can understand my goalkeeper coach, my goalkeepers, how I want the goalkeepers, and I can understand because many things the head coach um, had a problem that they don't understand other professionals like physical coach, analysts, goalkeeper coach. Sometimes they don't give time for them training. Sometimes they do it just for the analysts do a job for yesterday. But who is analysts have a lot of work. But for them it's easy because the work come done. And it's easy. You say, okay, tomorrow I want this. Okay, but you don't know if you have time to do this until tomorrow. So for me it was okay. I need to understand how work a goalkeeper coach, and this is why I go and I start working a little goalkeeper, and this is the way that I arrive professional goalkeeper coach. I 2012 I have a teacher from university that take a club, professional club, and he need a goalkeeper coach. And I speak with him and he say, okay, you can come with me. And this is a way that I go to professional level. And I learned a lot with this, my teacher that was my football teacher in the university and was a big experience for me, can saw and can take every information, how we speak to the team, how we work, how we do this, how we do that, is is amazing how I can learn in the real time with my football teacher. Because one thing is we can be a theoric, we can know theoric, but how we put in practical. Because many times theoric and practical is different.
Mm-hmm.
And for I understand, okay, I have my idea, theoretical, but I need put in practical if real this is good or not.
Yeah.
And it's amazing when I saw how we work in practical. And he's a big coach, and he don't have lucky after that because we know that professional level is sometimes opportunity agents, someone take you and okay, give you opportunity, and it's not your if you are good or not good.
Mm-hmm.
We have in professional football, we have more that quality, and sometimes it's connections, sometimes is agents who you know that you can give you the opportunity to have success.
Yeah.
So
Do you think it's common that a lot of managers who are young, like you were, start out as a defensive or goalkeeper coach or some sort of smaller job on a coaching staff and then move up to a head coach job? Or
yes,
is it usually like that where it's a lot of more positional coaches and then they get their job as a head coach?
no, I think after that, and now we have a lot of, for example, in Europe, we have a lot of coach that they start being assistant coach.
Mm-hmm.
So many years, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and now they have opportunity to head coach. Because who don't is a professional football player have a lot of difficulties to be head coach.
Mm-hmm.
First, you don't have connections. So if you don't have connections, how you arrive there?
Yeah.
Second, you need to go in because the most difficult is you go in from this industry, football industry. So who is Luis Figueiredo, for example? Nobody knows who is Luis Figueiredo. Nobody. So the most difficult is, okay, someone need to give me opportunity, chance. So how I can go? And many times the way is you go like assistant coach, goalkeeper coach, analysts, and then you do your way this way. Like I tell you, the way that I arrived professional level was a goalkeeper coach, but I do a lot of things after that. I do scouting. I do. I was technical coordinator many years in different clubs. I work in First League, Football Club da Roca, technical coordinator when they are first Portuguese First League, 2015 to 2016, 2017. After that, 2019, San Joanense is a big club in the young teams. They form a lot of professional football players. I'm technical coordinator too. Benfica, I arrived Benfica to be technical coordinator in international projects that Benfica have in a lot of countries. They have United States, they have in Europe some countries. I learned with Benfica. I have formations in Benfica methodology, how they training, how they look, what they do, and everything. This I can understand. Okay, if Benfica work like this, I go in the good way because I think the football like this. So, okay, if they are a big club, one of the best academies in the world, my ideas are like them. What is different? Language. My language is different at Benfica. So this is why I say that the most important is you pass your language for your players, for your assistant coach, for your team, work team, because they need to understand when you speak, they need to understand what you want. And before that, so I think that is very important. So my advice: you are young, try to learn a lot of positions that you can. If you can do scouting, do, because you learn how you can analyzing the player will be good for your when you are a head coach, because you need to select players for your game style. So if you work this, you will be better when you are head coach. Analyst, if you have this opportunity to do analysis for some team free, do it, because it will be better for your how you analyze, what details you need to pay attention. So every time that you do this, you are better. Tomorrow we will be better than today, but you need to do this. You need training. If you could be learn about goalkeeper things, learn, because help you be better many times. For example, not in professional top level, but in when you go in this way, many clubs don't have money for you have a goalkeeper coach. So how you do? If you know, and if you have some knowledgement, you can training your goalkeeper. You can do two things in the same way, because the club don't have money to pay a goalkeeper coach. So okay, I do the job. I do the job.
Yeah.
So it's very important. For example, technical coordinator is very important. You think a picker. So you think how we plan all teams, since 5 years old until 19 years old. How you put all teams training the same way, for the development the same way. For if you get, for example, under 15 player, and I put in the under 19 player, under 19 team, they can understand the training. How I plan this, how I choose the coach for training this, because you need to choose the coach, you need to do interviews, so you need to management every uh, place that I pass. I do scouting, analysis, goalkeeper, sports coordinator, technical coordinator. I'm a better head coach. I'm a complete head coach because I can understand a little about everything, physical training, how I can tell you, for example, I'm 2 years here in Finland. I don't have one injury, muscular injury. The injuries that I have is 2 broken legs, 2 broken feet, 2 players that broken 1 foot, and my goalkeeper this year that have a big injury in the shoulder and need to be operated and ends career. That injuries that I have in 2 years.
Yep. I mean,
Why?
but the muscular ones, like you said, aren't there because you're doing that preventative work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and I try to understand. Every time that I speak with that physiotherapist, I try to understand more. Why you do that? Okay, I need to be careful with this. And then you need to speak with the players, understand how they are. How is your feeling? Okay, today you are coach. Today I feel a little tired. Okay, so if you are a little tired in the training, you do your management that. For don't and then you speak for the players. It's very important the players give you the feedback, how they feel, if they are tired, if they are not tired, and everything help you to be better.
Yeah.
Everything help you to be better. So if you get this opportunity, pass for your different positions, help you to be better and help you understand the other point of view, because now I have analysts now, and when I ask a game, I understand the work that one analyst have to analyzing the game and give everything is beautiful. Of course it's beautiful, but it have a lot of work. So I understand that, and I respect a lot the people that do that.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I think this is the very important, the most important thing.
Yeah, I completely agree. The one thing that I took away from that was super huge for me, and I'm trying to relate this to anyone who's listened to the other podcasts that we've had out in season 4, is that with every single person, including yourself, Luis, we've seen a sense of relentlessness, continuing to push in your career path to become or to be at the place where you are today. And I think that's so beautiful because a lot of people think that there are stories out there of relentlessness and there are people who have gotten to their place because they pushed hard. But a lot of people think that most people who have gotten to a high level of success have gotten lucky or have gotten it handed to them. And I'm really seeing, especially for myself right now, with all the people that we've been able to interview, that it's a grind. You really have to work. You have to find, like you said, positions on different teams, goalkeeper coach, technical analyst, helping people out with different things. You always have to chip in and find small things that you can do to slowly build yourself up. And like you said, over time, as you gained all of that experience and all of that knowledge, that made you the head coach that you are today. All of that compounded to what you are able to do today. And you said it made you better. So I think that's just something really important that I wanted to highlight and share with the people, because if the people listening haven't already really heard that or understood that, it's definitely there. There is a sense of relentlessness that you need to keep pushing, to keep going, to eventually find success in your career. I just love that. And so sort of moving on past your philosophy, you've talked a lot about how you like to coach your team or how you like to sort of adapt your team to certain scenarios. I sort of wanted to ask, like, what would a typical day in the life of playing on a team under Luis Figueiredo look like? How do you like to run maybe a training session or a preseason or something? Just like a quick roundup of that, so that people who don't get a sense of seeing the world of professional football, and except for on TV, can sort of understand how that whole other aspect of the game works.
Okay, I don't know if I understand correct. You want that I say, how is my day?
Yeah,
Or
sort of how you run a day with the team. Like, what do you value most? Maybe there are some traditions that you like to do with your teams that you have brought with you everywhere. Maybe you like to specifically do this type of training, like technical in the morning, and then you like to teach them about how they're going to play against the next team in the evening. Is there a certain
okay,
schedule that you like to follow?
okay, I will speak. So I will speak two different things. So first I will say how is my day, and after that I will say how is my training, or what
Nice.
is my value in
Perfect.
training.
Perfect.
Okay, so how is my day? I wake up, I go to 9 o'clock to office. Um, every time I'm thinking in that yesterday training, I do my reflection, I analyzing because I take time. How many time have, for example, uh, my yesterday training, the exercise I take every time, when we stop, when we start, when we stop, when we start, when we stop, when we start. Then I do accounts how many minutes we training, real training, how many minutes we stop and we are, for example, drink water or this or speaking or this, and then after that I do my observation about the training, what was good, what is not good, what exercise, if the exercise was going that what I planned or not, or what difficulties the players have, if I need to change this, if I need to change that, if my speech was good or not. If something happens in the training with the players or with me, or if someone come speak with me. So I do my reflection about the training, and I prepare the next training. Um, so when I prepare next training, I prepare, for example, now in that season, I analyzing the opponent. I start seeing, after this, I seeing the games about the opponent. Always, I try to saw 2 or 3 games about the opponent. Then I see that our last game, what we do good or not good, what was our mistakes, and then I prepare the training, and this is the time for I go training. Uh, this all the days is this. So for my teams, of course we have a planning. For example, after for I will tell you, for example, this week that we pass. We have game in Sunday. So Monday I give you free day. Why I give you free day? Because I understand that the game is that when your emotions go higher, and in this game you are very, very, very tired physically and mentally. So the next day, the day next, the game is very, very important. You rest, you stay with your family, because it's the most important thing. So the second day, so we rest Monday. Tuesday, we have recovery training. In the morning, they go gym. They do some stretching exercise, bicycle, and then afternoon we do a little reflection about the game. Um, I give every players have a book. Uh, I give some topics for they do our home reflection. 2 things that the team do good, 2 things the team that don't do so good in the game, 2 things that they individually they do good, 2 things that they don't do so good, and what they do need to do better the next game. And when we do this, we speak a little. Everybody give opinion. Everybody speak how was their feelings, why they what they think about the game, why we lost, why we win, why we have this difficulty, and then I speak my opinion, and then I start always with my week message. I print some a paper with the message. Normally, the message always have something during the week. Is something positive things, some like lessons that we need to think for the next week. After that, we do recovery training, and then the day after we training offensive organization, defensive transition. We do a gym. We training gym. Then we have 2 days a week that we training gym in the morning. Afternoon we training in the field. Then, for example, Wednesday we training offensive organization, defensive transition. Thursday offensive, defensive organization, offensive transition, and Friday offensive organization, defensive organization. And this is the plan, the strategy that we will play in the game, for the game. So analyzing the team, I know how they play and what strategy we will do. So how we training this in the preseason, so the players, they know already, they have lights, that's what we can do. So in the season, we will training for this. They know already what they need to do. So what we need to training is mechanism, how they, for example, if that the team, if the central backs have a lot of difficulties to control the ball, so we do high pressure. We give the central back for they play for the central back, and then when the ball arrives central backs, we do pressure because we know that they have difficulties. Okay, so this is new, but they know how to high pressure. And then we do, for example, if the left back or right back, if they have a lot of difficulties to control the ball, we invite other team play there. We stop every road and we give for they play, for example, left back. And when the ball arrives, left back, we do high pressure and we try to win the ball there, for example. And then we train the day before the game is a free day, and they can go swimming pool, relax, do a little ice bath, and then we have a game. Tomorrow we have game, so today was a free day, and tomorrow we have a game. Normally the week is always this. My trainings, since I started training, first minute until the last minute, ball every minute, every second, every second, the ball. Then I divide the training, for example, in 4 parts. First part is ball control, when we do warm up every with the ball. Second part, exercise, individual technique, is warm up to always every player one ball. Third part is physical training. We do a circuit, but every times we have the ball, presence of the ball, that we do finalization with the mini goals. They do jump. Then we training. For example, depends of the day. Strength, resistance, speed, reaction, coordination. But is always exercise. That is a small space time, but the balls, they are dribbling, they are shooting the mini goal, all the time this. And we finish the training with small games, and then depends, 1 against 1, 2 against 2, attack against defense, depends what we training, but all the time since first minute and the last minute, the ball is always present.
Nice. Would you say that when you're talking about how you reflect both individually and then as a team, you reflect and talk through a game, would you say that unites the team? Because in football, in a lot of professional teams, pretty much every team, there's people from all around the world with different languages, different cultures. Would you say it's sometimes difficult to unite a team when there is those differences? And would you say something like reflecting and having dialogue and talking to each other about what went well, what didn't go well, does that help a team become more tight knit? And what other things do you do so the team is united and together more?
I think that this is very important. It's like I tell before, we everybody saw the football different way.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, I'm head coach, I'm outside, and I see the game one perspective. But the players, they are inside and they feel the game different way.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I can ask something because it's easy for me, but I'm outside. But for the players, sometimes they can say, coach, but it's difficult. We do that because they do a lot of pressure. So is good. We know what is the feeling inside the field, how they think, what they think. Coach, this game was not so good because they do a lot of pressure. We try to building game, but it's not so okay. And I'm outside, and if I say, okay, but I want that you building, okay, but it's not possible.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very important to know what they think, what they feel inside the game. And after that, we analyzing, and is good because everybody can give opinion, everybody can give your perspective for the game. We can speak a little, we can resolve all the problems. We resolve like this. All the problems we resolve like this. For example, I will tell you one example. We speak about one time we losing a game, and we have a good important time in the season, and I need to know it's not good when you lost sometimes, many times. For example, I give you an example. Last season for us was wonderful because we win. We are champions last season. We win all the game. We have young team, very young team. The goal is not be champion, but we will be champion. We go for next division, and this season we have a young team. The goal is stay in the same division, not go down. Something that the club don't do 17 years that they don't do this. So our goal is stay in the same division. But we lost some games, and it's not easy when you last season you win. We finished the season winning 8 games straight. We start pre-season and we win 6 games, so we have 14 games winning.
Mm-hmm.
And then we start losing, and we have a lot of injuries and red cards and this and that, and we play 9 games with 14% of the team, and we lost and we win, and the last minutes we lost the game and we win. It's not easy, so the doubts start being in the head of the players. Is normal. They start to have doubts about the process. Is normal. And one time I asked I have some proposal to go Iran this season, and I don't accept. And I arrived to the players, and I say, okay, guys, I have these proposals to go Iran. I don't accept because I want to finish the season with you. We want to put the club and let the club in the same division, and I don't give up from you because I believe in your work. So I don't go out. I don't give up. Who stay with me
Mm-hmm.
until ends of the season?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean,
And
it's just highlighting exactly what you say you live by, like the whole essence of what you said in the very beginning. I think it ties really well, actually, to the fact that you, when you were coaching U8s, your main priority was don't give up, retain the squad until the next season, regardless of results. And now the exact same thing comes full circle later in your career, which I think is an excellent demonstration of how strong your values are. In that you had opportunities and you said, no, I'm not going to give up on my team. I want to finish the mission. Like you said with the U8s, I want to finish the mission. And I think that's a really, really good value that you have. And I think Mac and I think everyone listening respects that so much. I think that's super key and super cool. One thing that I wanted to ask about before we go into some of the random questions that we had to ask, or that we want to ask you at the end, is about confidence. I know you spoke on this a little bit before, in how you try and manage your team and how much you think the mental side of the game is important. I know you said you like to give a rest day after a game, not only because of the physical draining or the amount that you lose physically, but also the mental tax that you have after a game. You like to give that day off because of that. But how do you deal with 25 to 30 players that all have different brains and all have different ways of thinking about the game? How do you deal with them when some of them aren't confident? Maybe you have a player that you signed or that you brought in that's a really good player and you really want them to be a key part of your squad, but they don't feel confident. Or you have a player that's young, that doesn't have the same mental strength yet, that needs to develop that. Obviously, it seems like you're a very charismatic, passionate person. So how do you deal with people and their different brains and needing to get them all on the same page?
I think that the most important is you speak the truth and honesty with every player. This is what I speak. I speak always, always, always the truth. Always with honesty. I speak a lot with my players. I want to know, and every problems that we have, we resolve together. Always, always. If someone have a problem, I close dressing room, I put the problem out, and everybody can speak and try to help. And I always speak with the truth. When I speak with the player to come, I never say that he will play every games every minute. I always speak that I can help him arrive next level if he want, if he training for that. I help, but the work is him need to do the work, not me. I help. And I never, every players, of course, we know that we have 25 players. We have that many players play more than other players. And we need to be direct.
Mm-hmm.
And direct. Everybody need to understand that everybody is important. Because with 11 players or 13 players, I cannot do a good training. I training this season a lot of times with 13 players because I have a lot of injuries. 2 players broken legs, red cards, 6. I have 3 weeks that player. I have 3-4 players every week sick. They don't training. So every players are important, but they need understand. They need understand what the rule he have inside the team.
Yeah.
For example, I give you an example. Last season, we have a goalkeeper that he is policeman, and he work 2015 kilometers from here, and
Wow.
every games he coming
Wow.
to sit bench.
Really? He would drive or somehow transport himself that far.
Sit bench.
Wow.
Really? And he was that committed to the team.
Every game.
That
Sit
is
the bench.
so crazy.
This is the commitment that they need to understand. Everybody have the rule. Everybody have your rule inside the team.
Mm-hmm.
Some rule is he was very, very important for us because he sacrificed everything to come with us and sit bench. So every players need to do and give 100% because he do the same and he don't play. So everybody need to understand. And if you understand that, it's easy for you play. It's easy for you give 100% for the team.
Yeah.
And so this is the most important is everybody knows what is your role inside. Everybody need to understand that and speak always the truth and honesty. This is the most important.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that's a really good way to put it. Just understanding that everyone has a role and that oftentimes, even if you're getting more minutes, that doesn't mean your role is more important than other people, or if you're getting less minutes, that your role is less important. Love that example of the guy who traveled so far to come and play what you said was such an important role, right? He helped the team in exactly the way that he needed to. And he knew the coordinates, like you said in the beginning. He was able to read the language and the coordinates of the GPS that you were telling the team. I absolutely love that. We do have a couple of questions that we wanted to ask you that we heard or read about, that, or one that we read about and then one that we just wanted to ask you to get a little sense for you. And then we have two closing questions after that. But starting with the more random questions, they're not necessarily in line with or in line with your career. Start to finish, but we heard from Jose, the player that we interviewed a couple of weeks back, that you nearly became the manager of North Korea's national team, or you were involved with that. Could you tell us a little bit about that? Because that, for us, just seems like a crazy story. We just want to know how that happened.
Yes, it's true. This was in 2016, ends of 2016. I go out from a club where I'm, and one agent that is my friend that I know in this club where I go out. He worked with that Iran market, Asian market, and in that time he liked my work, and in that time North Korea national team, they looking for a head coach because they coming from the sanctions, and that coach that was there is Norway coach, and the contract ends in December 2016, and they don't know if he renew contract or not. So they start the process to choose another head coach, and okay, he tell me, Luis, I have this. You have interest? Of course I have. I speak with some other coach that work in Asia. Of course, we know that we hearing speak about North Korea, and North Korea. But every people that I speak, they say me that don't worry, if you go there, you are a football coach, you don't have no problems with that, so don't worry about that. And I sent my documents with my friend. He translate to Korean, and he sent to there. Of course, they like. We start speaking. They send me the conditions. We negotiate the conditions. We do everything, and we arrive the time that, okay, we don't know if our coach will renew or not, but if he don't renew, you are the chosen. And I sent the papers to do a visa to visit North Korea in January 2017. But the Norway coach renew contract for 4 years. So okay, I don't finish my process. The Norway coach, he stayed there. Then I following the career. He stayed there 4 years. I think that he give an interview with some 1 or 2 years late. He do an interview speaking about that experience, and he said that he living in Pyongyang and a penthouse with a wife and no problems and
Wow.
everything good. Because I following, because I have interest following what happened and
Yeah, well, it could have
everything.
been you. You
Yeah,
never
yeah.
know. That's
Yeah.
the world of football. At the end of the day, anything can happen, and I mean that's a perfect demonstration of that. You could have
But it's
been
not. But
living in the penthouse.
always it's not was not always good. I have sometime without job.
Mm.
Uh, after that, I go Arouca, uh, Portuguese First League technical coordinator, and uh, uh, ends of the season. I don't want to renew contract because I want to start head coach position, but it
Hmm.
was not easy. I have 2 years without uh, training. I start doing course, head coach course, WFAC. I 2 years. I was like a teacher in that coach course, but I don't have project because I apply, everybody saying me the same. In Portugal, I sent millions. This is true. This is true. More than 1,000 emails with my CV, United States, Finland, Norway. I go one page, 00, that is about football. I go every site, website from every club. I take that personal contacts. I sent emails with my CV, with my ideas, and nobody answered me.
Mm.
Of course, you start thinking that give up, but something tell me that I cannot give up. I cannot give up. The opportunity will be appears. I trust every day I wake up. I do the same questions. What I can do today to uh, be more near that arrive my goals and be what I want to do because I'm happy. I cannot imagine me doing another thing. I cannot no do nothing more. This is my life. This is like a lifestyle. Uh,
Hmm.
I saw football every days. If I'm training, if I'm not training. So it's my life. It's how I live this. It's not easy, of course. And after that, I get San Joanés technical coordinator, uh, and at Benfica. After that, Benfica projects, and after that, I come Finland. I come Finland. They
Yeah.
give me opportunity because every people say me the same. You have a good CV, but you don't have experience as a head coach. Okay, but if I don't have experience, nobody give me how
Yeah,
I can get
it's a
experience.
loop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a loop. How
Yeah.
if you don't? Okay, I understand. I never training first team, but I have a lot of experience in that football. It's
Hmm.
17 years, do a lot of different rules in football. So how you can say me that I don't have experience? Yes, you're not. Oh yeah, I'm not a big name. Okay, I don't have connects or something like that. And uh, when I apply here in Finland, they choose me because my CV, because my experience
Yeah.
with young players, develop young players, what I do, what I work, different countries. So I'm here to since January 2021. And but the advice that I want to say is don't give up your dreams. If you
Mm-hmm.
have your dream, fight for him. It's not easy. Many times you will have a lot of people to say you for you give up, for you following another thing. If you believe in your uh, knowledgement, in your attitude, in your professionalism, in your self, if you live in yourself, don't give up. Fight for what you're looking for. The most important is you be happy with your what you do and trust yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Trust yourself. Trust your knowledgement. Trust you that you you can do everything. You need to believe that.
Yeah. And I think that's a good way to move on to our last two questions. The first one being kind of our mission as a media company, as a podcast. Our mission statement is to create a community of passionate football fans who highlight the classy side of the game, keeping discussion positive, uplifting, and inspirational. And as a podcast, trying to create this positive and uplifting community around football, what advice would you have for us or for our fans to help the footballing world become a better place? As there is a lot of negativity and hate towards players and teams sometimes, how would you help promote positivity in football?
First, I want to tell you and I want to give you congratulations for your work, for your idea. Is amazing. You are young,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and it's amazing how you, so young, want to learn more and speak more and do your connections. I think that you are in the right way to follow your dreams and you get your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Um, and you help a lot of people in the world. I'm sure that, and you will help me show me who is Luis Figueiredo for many people.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so this is a good for the world and for football. We can share our experience, and then for the people that looking and work in football and fans, I think the most important is we need to know that uh, we cannot win always.
Mm.
In the game, we have three results, possible results: win, lost, and draw. And uh, we can have 20 Mourinhos training in the 20 teams in Premier League. One will be champion, and
Mm-hmm.
one Mourinho or two or three Mourinhos go down. Because it's like this, it's the rules that, but the most important is we support our team uh, in all situations. The most important is enjoy the game. You go 19 minutes, support your team. When this is something that I tell for my players before every games, I say, guys, be happy inside the game. 19 minutes, I wanted you be happy inside. Smile every time that you touch the ball. Smile every time that the people that come to see you, they have problems. And in these 19 minutes, I wanted you help these people forget your problems. I wanted you help this. They come here 19 minutes and I want that they enjoy the time. They have a good time that they can say, oh, it was a good time. I'm happy. If our team lost, okay, I need to understand the other team was better, but my team do everything that was possible to win. And I give congratulations for the other coach when, for example, when they come play here, I give a little present ends of the game from my country, Portugal. I go to the other head coach and I give him a little gift for this moment because it's a unique moment. We
Mm-hmm.
do what we love. with a great passion, and it's a pleasure to be here and entertain the people, because this is entertainment. We need to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And if everybody understand that, and if everybody, the fans understand that the team can win, lost or draw, but if you give everything, you come here, you sing, and you do your support, and you're shouting, and during 19 minutes you forget your life. And this is amazing when you do this. For example, if you pay attention and the World Cup, it's amazing, the atmosphere. Is no wars, is no nothing, because everybody forget the problems. The problems go out. Everybody is a big festival during this time. Everybody is together. Everybody drink. Everybody support. Everybody sing, and it's beautiful. I love World Cup because it's amazing how the people and how what football can do for the people.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
we
love that. I love that so much. I'm almost at a loss for words on how to describe what you just said. I think it's a phenomenal way to sort of tie off everything that you have said during this episode. Now, our last question that we ask, you kind of just answered. You did almost answer it, but we do ask it to everyone. So if you can summarize it in the smallest or quickest way possible so that people can take that little nugget with them, they can remember that whenever they think about Luis Figueiredo or whenever they think about the game of football, just one little piece. Why do we play football?
why
Yes. Why do
Mm-hmm.
we play football? What is the reason?
why we because the football is that the amazing thing in the world. With football, we can start every week a new beginning, and this is something that I can smile. Look, you speak that, and I smile because it's true. Is passion is something that I cannot describe. Is a feeling inside. Is a feeling inside that is happiness, is um, enjoy, is friendship, is many things together, and this is why football is unique,
I love
because
that.
is a lot of things that we can do, and this amazing game that we can play with the feet is one of that we can play with the feet, with the head. Is not easy. Is 11 players against 11. The big field is very, very, very difficult. Have a lot of strategy how we can stop this. Is because it's coordinating 11 players. It's not easy. Put all the players doing the same thing. So his passion, his happiness, his friendship,
I love that. I
and
love that.
is smiling. This is
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the best. It is
Yeah.
smiling. Football is smiling, and it's written on your face. It is. When we talk about football, we smile. When we think about football, we smile. When we play football, we smile. And if we aren't, we should be, because it's a gift that we have. It's an opportunity that we have, and we don't want to take it for granted. Luis, thank you so much for coming onto the podcast. It was an amazing hour and 15, hour and 30 minutes talking to you. We had an awesome time, and I know that everyone listening also had an awesome time. There is so much information for them to take home with them, for them to take into their lives with them and apply, for them to learn from. You know, it's amazing when people can listen to something for this amount of time and take so much information away and apply it to their life. And I know that it's going to be applied in a positive way. So thank you for coming on and speaking your truth, speaking your stories, and sharing your messages. It was a pleasure. We really enjoyed it. And if you're ever interested in coming back onto the podcast, if you ever have any more stories to share, you are welcomed here. You can feel free to reach out, and we would love to have you back on. So thank you, Luis. It was a pleasure. And yeah, we hope the rest of the season goes well with you in Finland and the rest of your career.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys one more time. You are welcome every time that you want. You have my number. Every time that you want to speak, if you want to ask something, if you want to speak about something, you can call me, send a message. I can speak with you, put your thinking, because many times it's good when we put out your thoughts, and because it's not so negative. Uh,
Yeah.
Yep.
how we think, and uh, pressure is when we don't have what to eat. This is pressure. So football is not pressure. Football is smiling, and I'm
Hmm.
always open to speak about football with you.
Thank you
Okay.
so much, Luis. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We really enjoyed doing this episode. We'll be back again next week with another episode. Hopefully, you all have a great rest of your week. You can watch some football. You can smile, like Luis said, and peace. All right, that concludes our interview with Luis Figueiredo. It was an awesome interview. We had a really good time filming it and recording it and hearing his stories and messages. So share it with a friend if you want, and help spread the word, spread the message. It was a super fun podcast to do. But now, without further ado, we do have to do the final two things that we do in every single episode, the Hassani of the Week and predictions. So Mac, why don't you start us off with the Hassani of the Week candidates?
All right. So this week we have Gabriel Jesus, who was in the running, I think, a week or two ago, but he came in with 2 goals and 2 assists in their win versus Leicester. I think it was a 4-2 win in the Premier League. Very impressive. Got off the mark for Arsenal. Did more than that. Got 2 assists as well. So
Really helping my fantasy team at the moment.
me as well. It was great.
Well,
Great
we
pull-in.
show a lot of improvement. It's a real, it's a, I don't know the word. I can't think of the word for it right now. I just woke up from a nap for anyone listening, so like I'm groggy at the moment. But
Yeah.
it's showing that we bring our interviews into our practice in life, right? We got an
Yeah.
interview about FPL, and now we're doing pretty well in FPL. So
We are.
you're seeing that correlation happen right there.
I think we're like top 2 or something like that.
Oh, we are. In the world.
We're doing very well in the world. Exactly.
Really,
Completely.
COG Media is just taking over.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was quality.
yeah.
It was real
It was
quality.
very good goals as well. Arsenal looking very good, but pretty much the shock of the weekend, I don't think anything's going to shock us more, is the Man United Brentford game that finished 4-0 to Brentford. Matthias Jensen had a goal and an assist for Brentford in that win. I mean, Man United are all over the place, absolute shambles. But
It's craziness.
yeah,
I mean, the Brighton win you could understand because of how quality Brighton is as a team.
I don't think they were expecting to win that one. Man United. I think they're like 2-1 loss to Brighton is probably fair.
They were like, this one is like a tough fixture. We got to know we're probably going to drop points here, especially at home. Like it's
Brighton
just
at
not.
home. It's just really tough. But yeah, all respect to Brentford. They played very well. Man United just got a lot of problems at the minute. And then the third player is Timo Werner, who no longer at Chelsea, back at RB Leipzig, scored in his return in a 2-2 draw versus Cologne, I think. And so good to see him scoring again. I think he's probably going to be a lot happier back at Leipzig than he was at Chelsea, even though I don't think he had a terrible time at Chelsea. It's just like he wasn't clinical enough that the fans were expecting him to be, I think.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm excited to see him back at Leipzig in the Bundesliga. And I think it's only up from there. Who are you thinking as your Hassani of the Week winner this week?
I don't think it's much of a competition. I'm going to go with Jesus on this one. I mean,
Oh!
yeah, I mean, 2 goals and 2 assists in one game is quite crazy.
Pretty
especially,
quality.
Yeah, so I'm guessing you agree, right?
Yeah, I agree. And
Yeah.
just to throw it out there, my rating is a 8.5.
Wow.
I mean, so it's quite a hefty performance.
It is, but it's Leicester at home as well, so.
Yeah, it's still maybe I over exaggerated.
Personally, I would go 8.3. Just drop it down 2, I think.
Well, that's a good average, but now yeah, I'll go 8.3 as well. Because when I'm thinking about it actually, Benzema his performances were like 8.5s. And they were up there.
Yeah.
So I
they were
like the
quite good.
8.5, but we do have to be harsh. So yeah,
But 2 goals to
8.3.
assist
But it was
in a
better than like
Premier-
Anthony Elanga's 8.0.
Yeah, 2 goals to assist in a Premier League game is quite good.
Yeah, no, it's solid. Like I agree. 8.3.
Do you wanna
I
go?
overshot a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 8.3.
8.3. Congratulations.
Jesus.
Gabriel
Yes.
Jesus, HOTW, Season 4, Episode 8. Now on to predictions. We're flying through this right now. We have 3 games that we are predicting for this next week. Not all the games from this past week have finished yet that we predicted, from the episode that we did with Paul. So you guys will be able to see the scores, everything like that, updated on the screen, but we don't have all of that for you yet. But the 3 games that we are predicting this coming week are Leicester City versus Southampton. Prestigious matchup of 2 giants. Porto versus Sporting, which we feel like represents the episode a little bit. We got that Portuguese connection.
We did.
And then Fulham versus Brentford, another clash of giants. What are we thinking?
Ooh,
You just go top
okay.
to bottom.
For Leicester, Southampton, I'm going to go... It's Leicester at home, yeah. So I'm going to go with a Leicester win here. Not too confident in the Saints as of right now, even though they got a decent draw against Leeds at home, but they were down 2-0 to start with, which is not really
It was a
what you
good
want.
reaction, though.
It was. I mean, you have to take the positives out of it, but I think Leicester haven't been doing great either this season, so I'm going to go with a Leicester win.
Yeah. I respect it. You know me. I like the hunger aspect of, the passion-driven aspect. Like, we're the underdog, so we're going to win. I also respect your Saints far more than I think you think that I do.
Okay.
So I'm actually going with a Southampton win. Like,
Wow.
from the bottom of my heart.
Wow.
I really support them. I find them to be a fantastic team, so we're just going to have to see. But this is my chance to capitalize. It's like how some FPL players, if you are a hardcore FPL player, you'll know, they like to do things different than the mainstream public to hopefully separate themselves from the rest, right? If everyone gets it right, then you're still in this big pack of people. But if you get it right and then everyone else gets it wrong just because you took that chance, then you've separated yourself and you have a little bit of breathing room. So I'm trying to do that right now with some out there picks. The next is Porto versus Sporting. Sporto versus Sporting.
That's the Derby name.
Sporto. So the next game we have is Sporto.
Yeah.
It's a class game, represents the Portuguese Liga NOS very well. It's a derby game. Maybe not as big as Sporting Benfica, but I mean, they're all 3 giants in their own right, and it's a huge game.
Yes.
For this one, I'm going Porto. They are my team in Portugal. I always represent them in the Champions League whenever they're in it. And I mean, it was 2 years ago or a couple years ago, they had a pretty good run. So I represent firmly and strongly my connection to Porto.
Nice. I'm going to follow you on this one. And say
Wow,
Porto win.
copycat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, whatever. I mean, it happens sometimes. I think it's the smartest decision. I don't know much about Sporting and their success this year, at least.
But
Sporto
Sporto is pretty good.
Sporto is a great side. And the last team is Fulham versus Brentford. 2 teams who have somewhat shocked the Big 6 teams this season already. Fulham tied Liverpool and Brentford just demolished Man United. But who are you thinking for this one?
I think. I was gonna say something, but then like if it gets taken out of context, and I don't want to people be calling me an idiot. I was gonna be like, in 2 years, I think I can see Fulham lifting the Champions League trophy. But I'm not sure I want that clip being played over and over again without any other context around it. But I do think Fulham is a solid squad. I really rate them. I also respect Fulham fans a lot, like in so many ways. And so I'm going for Fulham in this one over Brentford. Just my respect for the fans, the passion they have for the club. I personally know some really invested Fulham fans. I don't know if you do, but I do.
No, I don't.
Just for context, so people know, I'm talking about Mac's dad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know some really invested Fulham fans, and I know the passion for the club is there. It's class. So I'm going Fulham.
It is. I'm gonna go with the draw here. I think Brentford probably won't be as strong away. And I think Fulham are good enough not to lose that game. I don't know if they'll pick up their first win of the season yet, but I don't think they'll lose this one. So that will round out the predictions for this week.
And the entire episode. Thank you
Yes.
everyone for watching the whole episode. It was a pleasure for us to have on Luis. It was a really good time, really fun time to chat with him. And we look forward to doing more interviews like that. Keep your eyes peeled for anything like that in the future, and give us a DM, email, a message, any way that you can connect with us. Do it to give us any ideas of things that you would like to see in future episodes. But until then, have a great week. Watch some footy. Smile, as Luis would say, and
Yes.
peace.